What's up, guys and gals? Just wanted to do a quick video on dash removal on a 73 through 77 Monte Carlo. Very simple once you're prepared. Up in here you're going to find some screws on each side. Both vents are going to have those. This is a little easier to do with the windshield out. However, you do not need it out to get this done. If you're planning on replacing the windshield, great. I think I had mine replaced. It was like 350 or 380 bucks. I don't even remember at this point, but it was kind of expensive for what it is. The glass has those lines through it that hold your or for your radio antenna, so that's kind of the biggest thing. Now, I've done a lot of prep work in this car throughout the past few months. So your lower dash vents have to come off. Your passenger side one has to come off. There is a screw right here on this bracket that goes on the back side of your passenger lower vent. If you remove all the screws across the top that you can see, it's still going to be stuck in there because of that bracket. So you need to make sure before you start tugging on the thing, that back bracket needs to be disconnected. It's just one little Phillips screw. Once it's free, the whole thing will fall down. You can pull your glove box, or your ashtray door out, your ashtray internals, and then you can also pull your glove box actual box out, and you can pull your door and glove box off. Radio can come out depending on what you have. Your gauges do not need to come out. I would recommend that they do, because you will have your speedometer cable popping up through. So you can get to that. You can see this big access hole in here, so you can get to that from the back if you leave your gauges in. It's just as easy to pull them out. You will have to take your shifter and you'll have to put it down so you can get everything out a little easier. I'm not going to worry about it right now because we're already there. You do have to pull your AC vents out. Now, this is a 73, so you'll see the difference in 73 through 77. 73 has its own style of rear connection for the AC lines. The 74, 5, 6, and 7 have these on the back side, which is a lot easier to get out when you're pulling the thing out. So basically just disconnect all your cables, all your wiring, everything should just be disconnected. You will have to take these little tiny screw ports off. They're actually just like a little cap. You just pry underneath them with a screwdriver. They'll pop out. On this particular one, I can just remove it at the source. So we'll pop that up here quick, get that pulled off. And then your vacuum lines are all disconnected. Don't have to worry about it at all. The only other thing, and I'll flip this over here after I get this off, that you're gonna have to worry about is your cable. Your cable is gonna have to be flipped over, and you got a little push clip on it. That push clip kind of retains it into place. You can pop it off of there, and your cable for your blend door will pop off as soon as you take that little bolt off. So I'm going to pull that off, and then I'm going to show you where the rest of the mounts are. The bottom of the dash, you do have to take the lower AC vent off. I call it the ball chiller because it's mounted right there underneath the steering column. That has to come off, and then you'll be able to disconnect your hoses for your AC. So I'm going to pause you for a second. I'll be right back. All right, back at it. Right here underneath the dash, you're going to see a bracket. When this glove box door is out, you can kind of see where that's at. That little guy has a bolt, which I already disconnected. You got one there, it's a 3/8 inch bolt. You got another one that sits over here on that mounting point, okay? The only other thing that holds this dash in, besides those screws inside the vents, is your steering column. I already pulled one of those out. I think this one may be loose. So you do have to drop your steering column to get this thing completely out. Steering column should be able to drop down just enough without getting crazy that you can get this whole thing loose. Okay, we are completely loose right now. I'm gonna give her a little tug and see what we got going on. I may have to pause you one more time and kind of get situated here. We're gonna have to disconnect our wiring for our windshield wipers and our headlights, but aside from that, we should be pretty close, and then I'll have to show you a couple things on the backside, so give me one more second. All right, so I've never seen this on any of the other cars I have, but this little bracket was attached to the bracket on the actual dash itself. So there was a screw on that did have to come out. We could have seen it through the glove box door there. Like I said, I haven't seen that in other cars, so wasn't expecting it. But you do have one more connection here on the bottom of your central AC ports. This screws on your blend door, which goes underneath here, and then it screws on at the bottom. So that has to come off for your blend door. Your wiring harness has little push clips here, like these guys. They kind of just push right into the base of the dash, or the actual where the brace of the gauges sits. So when you pull on this dash is sitting up here up against the windshield, right? So if the windshield's out, it's a little easier, like I said, but this windshield will be putting pressure on the dash just a little bit. So when you pull on this, it may seem like it's stuck in there, but it isn't stuck. The only other thing you need to worry about is your headlights need to be disconnected there. Your windshield relay or your windshield wiper system needs to be disconnected. And then the last thing that you have to do, let's just lift this thing on out. Last thing you have to do is disconnect your e-brake cable. So your e-brake cable literally just slides onto here, and you see that little bracket right behind it. There's a little tiny wire right here. This is the bracket that slides in there, and then this little tiny wire slides inside. So push the thing back, releases. Pretty simple. Dash is completely out. You'll have wiring harness for your speaker. That's where you can upgrade your speaker. Now this particular dash looks like it is a two-piece. So this dash lower section will actually remove from the upper portion. So I can make a video on that if you want. It's kind of simple, but the dash does have to be out in order to do that. So you could change the lower section of the dash. Let's say these are broke. The bottom part of the dash is broke. The most common thing to break is right there for your glove box, your little latch on the glove box. That breaks pretty often. So now you've got access to everything inside here. Your steering column can go back up. I can still drive this car around. It'll be a little uncomfortable, but I can still move this thing around since it does still run. Make sure that it's put back in drive. She'll start right up for me when I'm ready. And then you gain access to your blend door and all the fun stuff that goes with it. Your defrost vents are back here. Basically anything and everything that has to do with the heater controls is all within that box. So that's all there. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you got any questions, let me know. I'll probably get this dash posted a little later, maybe next week. Lower half of that dash will probably be for sale. That's usually all I sell off of them. The top half is kind of, it's cracked, but it also is kind of brittle, so probably won't end up selling that. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. We'll catch you next time.